flour and salt and ice water, and a half a stick of butter. So 2 cups of flour, half a stick of butter, a tablespoon of salt, and then ice water until it gets hard, incorporated, where it's not tacky. So then we add a little bit more flour and we're going to roll this out, but we got to work this and knead this together. So if you like your dumplings fluffy, this is not for you. If you like them thin, flat, and delicious, this is for you. Of course, William Mike just called.
You know it's still recording, right?
I am. All right, a stick of butter. We're gonna add half of large onion, 4 stalks of celery, and 4 cloves of garlic. We're gonna cook these down really good. All right, we're at that point now. Vegetables are done. little bit of hip hop in the background. Turn that down. All right, so I've got chicken stock over here already hot. I've been making chicken stock all day long. So we're gonna add 2 cups to this. It's already hot, so I don't have to wait for it to come up. Another 2 cups to this right here. And the cool thing is we can add more later. All right, so we're gonna add our dumplings in there. We got a bunch of dumplings. We're gonna add 6 cups of this. 6 cups of chicken stock. We can add more later. Our dumplings are gonna thicken it. We got chicken in here. No salt, no pepper, nothing yet. We're gonna go ahead and add our chicken in here. So we boiled this chicken in our stock earlier. So it's time to make some more stock, put it in the freezer. So that's what we got. We got this chicken in here, beautiful. We got this chicken stock, amazing. So the only thing that you really need to add to this, we have celery in it, butter, onions, a little bit of garlic, just to give it some flavor. We're gonna add some salt and pepper to this, maybe some GPS. That's gonna be it. We're not gonna get fancy, we're gonna get crazy with this. It's just chicken and dumplings. So once this gets back to a simmer, we're gonna start adding our dumplings. We don't wanna crowd the pan. We're gonna add these little dumplings that I got rolled out here. I like mine thin, so once this comes up to a simmer, we will start doing that. All right, so we got this almost to a simmer. I've already tasted it. Now, we're gonna add some things to this because I want it flavorful. Go a little bit on the deep end sometimes. All right, celery seed, teaspoon. Black pepper, 2 teaspoons for now. Salt, another 2 teaspoons. Now, we're gonna have to salt these more as we go. It's a very fine line between salting these things and over salting them, because you do have a lot of those dumplings that's gonna go in here. So we want to make sure that everything's good, and once those dumplings cook and they absorb some of this salt, then we're going to do it to taste at the end. Depends on how many dumplings you have. It depends on how the chicken is, the stock, everything else. This is where you really have to taste your food. There's no real recipe to this. I don't care what anybody says, you're not going to have a recipe for this. It's all going to be touch and feel when you want to get it grandma style. So we're simmering now. So what we're going to do is we're going to add these little dumplings. I want little dumplings. I want every bite to have chicken and dumplings in it. I don't want a big ass dumpling. So here, we're going to throw these in here. We're not going to mess with them. We're going to leave them alone. Grab a handful. We're just going to pop them in here. We're going to let them cook. We're not going to stir them. We're going to let them come up and float, do their thing. Shake the pan if you have to, but just let them do their thing. That's why I'm doing this big pan like this and not a pot. So I'm doing the saucepan, that way I can get more surface area to throw these things in here. Little dumplings, little chickies, freezing outside. Shake it a little bit. All right, I'll throw a couple more in here. We're gonna kind of see how it goes. See how these are working out. We got a lot. We don't have to use them all. Flour's cheap. Just gonna roll around the edges here, not to disturb them. Not gonna stir. I'm just gonna go around the edges here. Let them do their thing. Shit. Woo! Lost my spoon. Lost my spoon. Alright, we're back. I think our next video is going to be, we're going to put all these in boiling water and see how dirty they are. Alright, we're gonna kind of move the edges around here a little bit. Center's going. I'm gonna kind of move them. I'm gonna stir them. Move it. So we got more dumplings to do. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of lay these out to the center here. Simmer these, let them cook down. The reason you want to kind of stagger these things like this is you don't want them to stick together. That's the biggest thing. There's the great debate on biscuits and dumplings, and I like them thick, I like them thin. I like them thin. I don't like a big biscuit inside my chicken and dumplings. The reason being is that's the way my grandma made them. That's the way my mom made them. Yeah, that's what you grow up liking. That's what you like. So do them how you want to do them. You want to get a big thing of Grand's biscuits and cut them in quarters and roll them out. You do you. You want to get some frozen biscuits and do it? Some Mary B's or something? You do you. Okay? This is my chicken and dumplings. You're not eating this. I am. But if you want to, follow along. The recipe's easy. And if you don't like my recipe, there's a million out there that will tell you how to do it. But I will tell you something that's going to be super important to all of this. And the key to good chicken and dumplings is stock. I like dumplings. Stock is important. Whether you buy it or you make it or however you do it, if you use cream of celery, cream of chicken soup, however you do this, it's up to you. I'm gonna throw the rest of these in here. Kick this thing up a notch on the old induction. Get her going. And just like a roux or anything else, you gotta cook these things out. You gotta cook them. Cook the flour out of these things. Alright. We're looking good. We're looking good. Now, as these things are simmering and cooking, once they reduce down a little bit, and these dumplings start absorbing some of this liquid, then you can get your cornstarch ready. Get you a little bit of milk and cornstarch, and you can thicken this up. And you can do that instead of making a roux in the beginning, a little butter and flour roux, or you can do that in the beginning, or you can do cornstarch, either way, whatever you choose. Or if you're using cream of chicken or cream of celery soup, then that's automatically going to give you that kind of creaminess and that thickening that you are looking for, right? So this is going to be a little watery right now because I added a bunch of stock and I added a bunch of dumplings, so I'm just going to let this cook down. Then we're going to taste it. We're going to thicken it. And then we're going to go from there. Other than that, we're just about done. So we'll come back whenever we thicken it. All right, so these have been cooking for about 8 or 9 minutes. We'll call it 10 for good. And we're going to try this out and see if it needs any more salt. It may need a touch of salt, But we're gonna let this cook, and we're not gonna add any more to it. Man, a little extra celery seed, salt, and pepper really brought these out. Now, I'm gonna do a little cornstarch slurry. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. You can make a roux in the beginning if you know how much liquid you're going to use. I did not know how much liquid I was going to use because I don't make these all the time. So, little slurry, cornstarch and milk. We're going to add these. Add this a little bit at a time just to thicken this up. Now it's simmering. That's what we want. That's all it's doing. It's just kind of simmering and still cooking those dumplings, right? So it's the perfect time to let this stuff just sit and hang out, and then you can thicken it to how you want. We have little bitty dumplings. Look at that. Little bitty dumplings. Chicken. Starting to thicken up a little bit. We're going to add a little bit more. Scraping the bottom, that way we're not breaking anything up. Want to get this kind of thick. Now, if you don't know how to use cornstarch, you can bring it up to a boil, but you got to bring it back down to a simmer. If not, you're going to break it. You're going to break your sauce. Now, it can go back the other way. So I want to add the rest of this. And that should be good for us. We're going to bring this back down to a simmer. It's hot enough. That cornstarch is going to do all it's going to do at this point. And that's perfect. We're just going to reduce this down, keep it on low until it's time for dinner. So we have dealer's choice tonight. We're doing chili and chicken and dumplings. It's freezing outside. Will warm your soul. Hey, appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Please like, subscribe, ask questions. If you have any questions, message us. We're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. Check us out. Please ask us questions. CompassPointBlend.com. Let's go.